Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. This is my lovely, very lovely post-market wrap-up on this Tuesday, June 16, 2020. Today, another day where stocks go up. Nice rally across the board on Wall Street. That's it. This is the new normal. You know, speaking of new normal, I wrote an article for the Trends Journal, the last Trends Journal. It just came out. Compliments of the Federal Reserve, the new normal. I got such overwhelmingly positive feedback on that article. I want to thank all of you for your feedback. I personally thought it was a good one myself, but it's all true. It's incredible what's going on now, and you are well aware of it. So, and we're going to talk more about that because we heard from YELLOWSTAIN himself today. Dark, ugly YELLOWSTAIN today. He had a lot to say, more or less the same story with a little caveat here and there. We're going to talk about that in a moment here. So like I said, nice rally on Wall Street today. The 10-year yield moving up, showing a sign of relief for the market because the Fed is going to keep pumping the markets, distorting it further and further from any kind of reality. Look, this is epic. I don't know another way to put it. All right, so because this is risk on, you know what happens. When you have risk on, like I covered on Sunday, I told you how this week would play out more than likely. So far, I'm spot on here. When you got this kind of scenario, you know, metals don't want to move anywhere. Cryptocurrencies don't want to do anything. And for the most part, both metals and cryptos did nothing today. Pretty much flat across the board. I mean, silver put on a slight gain, very slight for gold. The cryptos were mixed, but I mean flat for the most part. Okay. Of course, I want to get ready for your shocked face. Let's do it together. Ready? Crude oil got propped up. Let me explain this to you. If you don't know already, because I've been explaining this to you for a while now, crude is going to continue to be propped up and faked higher. It has no price discovery mechanism behind it. Propaganda getting floated out about shortages. Propaganda getting floated out about extreme demand predicted next year. I mean, it's all fake. It's all fake. They want to prop up crude. Did you see what happened today? Just as an example. Okay, so crude caught a bid, and what did that do to the entire energy sector? Well, energy was the best performing sector of the market today, duh. So I know you're not surprised about this. Again, and it lifts the entire market. Financials went higher as well. This is so rigged. It's not even funny anymore. Really isn't. So let's move forward to the YELLOWSTAIN. YELLOWSTAIN came out today and just, you know, pushed the point home that rates will stay near zero indefinitely. It's just not going to stop, and there's no chance, zero, of a rate hike coming up. You know, you remember the Fed? We're data dependent. We got to look at all the data. Then we'll make a decision. No, that doesn't matter. That whole narrative, it was fake anyway, went out. They don't even try to push it anymore. It's in our face how rigged it is. So it doesn't matter. Indefinite suppression of rates. And what is this going to do? Well, it's going to maintain the risk on environment, cash into the stock market. That's all this is. From QE1, where the Fed started rigging the yield curve, to I mean, look, getting ahead of myself here. It's unbelievable what we've seen so far. And the truth of the matter is, we haven't seen a damn thing. Nothing yet. Because the Fed must finish what it started. They deliberately killed the global economy to kill the money velocity so they can get in here and buy it all. By the way, the Federal Reserve is now engaged in buying junk bonds with 7-to-1 leverage. That is incredible. So when I say something like the Fed is buying everything, you have to understand they actually are buying everything. Yellowstain, Powell, also explained that his municipal lending program is in full swing. They are ready to lend to bankrupt states, bankrupt cities, and whoever else needs it. Again, what is this doing? By the Fed lending to whoever they want to, bankrupt states, bankrupt cities, municipalities, whatever it might be, they now become the owner. And that's what they're doing. It's a global takeover, but the hub is right here in the United States. Why do you think, honestly, and this is common knowledge now, that the Fed is funneling trillions of dollars around the world to other central banks who are buying everything with dollars? They're using dollars. They're not even using their own currency, whatever central banks are receiving funds from the Fed. They're using dollars to buy it. It almost seems like science fiction, the environment we're in, but it's not. It's real. It's as real can get. So let's focus a little more here on the human Yellowstain, okay? Yellowstain says he wants people to get out and start spending. Before I move forward, when was the last time you heard a Fed chair, a Fed president, the president of the United States, an economic advisor like Larry Kudlow, or a Treasury Secretary like Steve Mnuchin? When was the last time you heard them say, hey, you know what? Maybe you should save a little bit for a rainy day? No. It's all about get out there and spend. Now, here's my question. And you can look this up for yourself if you don't believe me. Right now, today, American citizens are carrying a larger debt load than they have ever carried in history. Okay, they are in more debt than ever. Okay, they have little to no savings. And they're being called upon to go out and spend. So what does that mean? Well, they got to borrow. They got to borrow more. You understand? That's the nature of the beast. The nature of the debt-based economic model demands that debt be borrowed from the future in greater and greater amounts. This mechanism has been in place since the Federal Reserve's inception. This is what they wanted. They wanted a fiat monetary system backed by nothing, where they can just buy it all at one particular time, become the lender and buyer of last resort to own the world. They pushed a black ops thing on all of us. Shut down the world. They shut down the world just so they could finish their final solution, their 100-year plan, 100-year plus plan, to do exactly what they're doing now. That's how far ahead they thought this thing out here. This is why there is no escape. You understand? So when you hear a politician calling for negative rates, calling for more debt, understand that this has all been scripted, all been engineered, all been laid out decades and decades ago. Honestly, the last two presidents, President Obama and this current guy, Donald Trump, they have sincerely been the absolute best friends of the Federal Reserve in history. No other presidents other than these two have done a 1-2 punch to exalt or lift the Federal Reserve beyond the top of that pyramid. Pull out a dollar bill. You see that pyramid on the back, that truncated pyramid? Well, the Federal Reserve is at the very top, hovering above all of us. They are the overlords. You understand? And it's an incredible thing to see. It truly, truly is. All right, so look, let's move forward real quick here. Sorry, this is kind of long. So stocks did rally across the board. Will we get a pullback? I would love to see another one, but I'm not sure we're going to get one just yet. We had that 1,800 point drop. I told you we needed it for stocks to move higher. I think we're going to continue higher here. But let's see. The mechanism is in place. More easy money from the Fed. The Fed's buying it all, expanding their balance sheet. And as long as the balance sheet grows, forget any talk whatsoever about the Fed's balance sheet shrinking. Okay, that was floated out too by Yellowstain. You see, that's just a lie too. The Fed does not ever want to decrease its balance sheet. Okay, they want to continue to inflate it. The more they inflate, the more assets they can buy, and they're buying the world. Now remember, like I said, the Fed has two balance sheets. The one you're allowed to see right on their website, and then the other one. No one is allowed to see it. Not even the President of the United States is privy to that information. But everyone knows. I mean, all these corporations out here, they all have two balance sheets. All of them. The Federal Reserve is a corporation too. They have two balance sheets. All right, look, that's it. Long video. I hope this makes sense to you. All the stuff I'm putting together here. And that's it, people. I really love all of you. That's the truth. Please share the video. Get it out there. And if you have not yet, I don't know what on earth you are waiting for. Subscribe to my free newsletter. There is a link down here in the description of this video. I got like 30,000 people. Ask anybody, anyone who has subscribed to my newsletter how they're doing in this market because of my calls and my picks. Any one of them. Random. All right. With that said, see you tomorrow.